everybody, and welcome to On Purpose Conversations. I'm your host, Crystal Burrell, and I want to thank you for tuning in again. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and get plugged in at themissunplug.com. On Purpose Conversations is all about talking to entrepreneurs, creative artists about finding your life's purpose. Our next guest is Chante Hall, also known as Chante 2 times. She's a publicist and communications expert. Her brand has dealt with some brands like Milano Di Rouge, D&D Smith, South by Southwest, The Fader, and Dream Film Fest, and so many more. Her brand is 2 times the service because Chante works 2 times harder than the average individual. Hey girl.
Hey, how are you? Thank you for the intro.
Yes, girl, I'm trying. But thank you for doing this.
Of course.
We talked about how it's been a long time coming.
Yes.
So I'm super excited to just kind of dive in and talk to you. Before we get started, I love to do a toast.
Okay.
So I want to toast to Black Girl Magic.
Of course.
First of all, I want to toast to you and your brand and your business, everything you're doing, abundance.
Thank you.
And just to get better and better. Do you want to add to that?
I want to add a toast to you just for, continuing your platform and not letting things get in your pathway and just coming straight through doing you.
Thank you. Yes.
Cheers.
Oh, let me drink some. All right. So let's just get started. So my first question is a simple question, but I want you to get deep.
Okay.
Okay, so not just who do you say you are and why do you feel like you're here?
Who do I say that I am? Honestly, that's a good question. I would like to say that I am, in simple words, a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
I would say that only because, just like I expressed to you and just toast to you for, we don't allow things to get in our way. We actually roll with the punches. We go with the flow, and we make sure we're going to get our money. We're going to regardless, we're going to get things done. So I just feel like I'm a force to be reckoned with because whenever something does get in my way, I never really pay it too much mind. I'm worried about the solution, not the problem.
Okay, I really, really like that. So you're from West Philly, right?
I'm born in West Philly, but I'm from the county. They're gonna be mad at me if I don't say county love.
Okay, right. Alright, so tell me about like growing up in West Philly or the county as a Black girl, and kind of how that really impacts who you are today.
Growing up in Delaware County actually impacted me because I feel like it gave me that structure that living in West Philadelphia couldn't give me.
Okay.
Growing up in West, I got the gutter love that that's the other side of the 2 times that people rarely get to see. And I feel like the county just structured me and made me see that I could add more things to my environment. I didn't have to become a product of it. I could change the products that I'm adding to my environment. So I would say both places structure me to be a grounded woman because I don't take any trash from anybody.
Oh, yeah.
I don't take no trash from nobody. So shout out to Wes for that. And shout out to the county just for structuring me to understand that I'm a rose from the concrete. I wasn't just,
No, literally.
Yeah.
So I mean, you work super hard, in this lifestyle of an entrepreneur. It's always something that you're doing. How do you kind of like take care of yourself while you're chasing your dreams? What are some things you do?
Well, a lot of things that I do, I actually set out certain days where people aren't allowed to talk to me.
Okay, how does that work out?
On Sundays, no one talks to me. I don't text. I'll probably call JR, spend an hour on the phone with him while I'm drinking my tea. Like, I just digress and get my venting sessions out on Sunday because with being a publicist, a marketing director, creative director, all those things, you wear everybody's problems and issues and that those things on you. So you have to make sure you take care of yourself because if you're not 100% to pour into yourself, how can you share, in other people's glasses? So I feel like taking care of myself on Sundays is my self-care day. Can't nobody talk to me.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the only day I had to myself. I try to do yoga, kickboxing, and then, little recreational things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just how, I keep the peace within myself. But honestly, with PR and the things that I do, I don't really get too stressed because I love doing it. So
You love what
I
you
just
do.
need that one day a week to get back to me, and then I'm right back.
Yeah, I think that's super important. So let's talk a little bit about communication. Because we got a lot in common, surprisingly, because I know you do the morning announcements.
Yes.
I was definitely wondering, what's up, y'all? It's Crystal.
Got pizza, tater tots for lunch. Yes.
Yearbook, you're a part of like student council, and just kind of what role do you think that communication plays in life?
Communication is the biggest role in life. It's the biggest role. You can't have a successful relationship without communication. You can't properly make money without communication. You can't close deals without communication. Like, you have to know what I'm saying. You have to understand, and vice versa. Without communication, we can't get anything passed. One of the things that I like to move by is conversation cures. You know, we have a lot of problems that we have out here when, in reality, half the things that we're dealing with could be solved from a conversation.
Yo, literally.
So communication is just, to me, very vital. You can't get anything done effectively without proper communication, and that's why I took up communications.
Right. Okay. And you're a great communicator.
Thank you. I tried.
All right. So I was reading your interview with Voyage ATL, and you were talking about a time when you only had $40 in your pocket and you still were trying to get stuff done. And I relate to that because I remember before I had a car, I was living with my sister, my dad. I was catching multiple buses, especially coming from Chester to get to Philly. Multiple buses, catching a train to get what I had to do. So talk about using what you have, you know, even if it's limited resources, but to still get the work done.
That's big to me, because I see a lot of people complain and things within their businesses, and I'm just like, what? You had this right here? You didn't do that? Like, I think a lot of people don't understand that, like, they just see the bigger picture of the things that we do. You could see me with, like, Lil Jon or somebody, but the whole time you don't know I slept on the floor the night before to get to this concert.
Right.
So with things like that, I just feel like using your resources and knowing what type of resources you have is major, because a lot of people will say they don't have things when in reality you're marketing every day.
Right.
Like us just sitting here having a conversation, people snapping a few pictures, that's marketing for your talk show.
Right.
Like, we're simply branding and marketing ourselves every single day. So I just feel like when people don't use their resources, you don't really want it as bad. Because I don't care if I got $5. If I know I've been trying to work with Yo Gotti and he's downtown, I'm about to figure it out. Yo, bro, come pick me up. This $5 for your gas. I'll be broke the rest of the week as long as I put my return in that investment. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So yeah, I try to see things for longevity, what I can get from that $5, instead of just sitting in the house like, damn, all I got is $5. No, I'm a extenuate my resources and try to make that possibility happen.
Yeah, no, I think that's beautiful. And talk to me about, because I know for me this is like second nature, but when I talk to a lot of people, it's not. Like betting on yourself, like going from a job and being like, I don't want to do this no more, or whatever the situation is. How important do you think betting on yourself is?
Very. It's a lot of times that I didn't bet on myself, and I'm like, why the hell didn't you do that? Like, why didn't you do that? Now I think because I'm gearing into old age and I'm going through a pre-midlife crisis, that I don't be having time for nobody's stuff. So it just be like, oh, my man got 2 jobs, like that type of syndrome. So I'll leave a job, I'll leave a situation if it doesn't seem beneficial for me, and I'll bet on myself. And honestly, God has been immaculate with me betting on myself. Like, again, that story you read when I went out with $40, that was me betting on myself, and that was income tax season. I went out there with the 40, not knowing what I was going to do.
Right.
Just had hope and faith, and then by the 3rd day of me in Texas, income tax came. I said, ooh, that was a good bet on myself. So it's like I could have missed out on that opportunity and never met Tory Lanez, never met Kalani, never met Joe Budden, never did those things because I was scared I only had $40.
Right.
But instead I went out there and was just scared out here with those people, and that helped me grow as a PR. And I still got my income tax, so it was two times the work.
Right, it worked out, but you were like, regardless if I get this, I'm going.
Regardless, because I knew something was going to provide for me. Like, I knew that I could reach back out. Like, I have great team members and I have great people around me. Like, I know if I don't have nothing to eat, I'm calling him. Hey, send me $5 for a cheesesteak or something. Like, I'm going to figure it out, because these same people that I have around me know that I will do the same for them.
Exactly.
So just having those people as resources as well will help you do the things you need to do.
Because everything's not about money.
It's not.
And I don't think most people understand that. Sometimes it's like, you can see that. We see the opportunity compared to like getting paid to do something.
Right.
And I know, like, at one point I was like, it's a business, you gotta get paid. But it's like everything can't. Money can't. Yeah, money can't be your driving force to why you're doing everything you do.
It can't be.
Like,
I got to meet Whoopi Goldberg and sit and have a whole conversation with her, and I didn't get paid for that. I didn't get paid to work for New York Fashion Week, but at the same time it was like,
why wouldn't I do that?
This is a freaking payment right here. That one payment got me paid by multiple people. Like, how the hell did she get with Whoopi Goldberg? Came out for free, chasing my dreams. So it's little stuff like that. You gotta bet on yourself. It's vital.
Yes. No, literally, I told you the same thing. So you kind of mentioned it already, but I want to ask you, Who or what do you believe in?
Who or what do I believe in?
Yeah, like I heard you say God.
For facts. I believe in a greater power because it's something out here bigger than all of us. There's no way we're sitting here not moving and the world is spinning right now while we're sitting here talking. So I believe in a greater power. I believe there's God. I believe in faith. And I think the biggest thing that people should believe in is themselves. I believe in me a lot. Like, he'll tell you firsthand. I'll call him like, why haven't we done this yet? We need to do this. I know I can do it better. I know we can do I believe in me first. So with God and me and my team, I feel like those are the things I believe in. And I believe in my work ethic.
Which is most important.
Yes. My ability to get something done.
Like, regardless, because everybody don't see it. So I know for me, I'm always coming up with ideas. Everybody don't see it. And I learn, like, that's cool. They don't have to see it because I see it.
Right. And once you give them the glasses, that's when they'll get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So talk to me about, because life happens, you know, and especially as entrepreneurs, we got to keep going. We got to keep doing things. So talk to me about, like, how you're using your trials and tribulations as fuel.
I use my trials and tribulations as fuel because I've been, like, on earth for 29 years, so we know what trials and tribulations look like, right? So I use them to fuel me because at the end of the day, what I've grounded myself to know is that a trial and tribulation is only a matter of time. It's not something that's going to last a lifetime. So the way I get through it is just by telling myself, this is just right now. This too shall pass. So once it passes, I always get to a point where it's like, oh, that's why that happened. Okay, then I figured this out. So sometimes we get so mad at our trials and tribulations when the whole time that's just our lesson. That was our lesson plan. Just like in school, you might get upset with the teacher for sending you detention for being late, but that was your discipline to getting your ass up on time and making sure you're in class on time. So my trials and tribulations are like that black mom discipline to be like, you know, do this right so we don't have to go through this again.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's how I look at it.
Okay. So you're out here, you know, you're always at these events, you're promoting, you're marketing, but kind of to what we were just talking about, like, life still happens, you know, so I do follow you, so I have seen, like, you know, you've lost some really, really important people to you, and so have I, right? So I want to talk about how do you move forward with life when people you love die? Like, how are you still growing up how are you answering these clients' calls? Because I know at one point, I know for me, like, when my one friend passed away, I was on a couch for a week.
Yeah.
You know, I know I couldn't stay there, but I needed a week.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't doing anything. So how do you handle that?
Honestly, I think I stayed in the house for months. I didn't want to leave because this was like my best friend. Like, I was doing everything with this person. So I feel like moving forward, the way I move forward is because I remind myself of their voices here. So it's like I could get invited to events or go do this or go do that, and I'd be like, no, I don't want to do it. And I could hear him like, if you don't get your stupid ass up, go ahead. Like, I could hear it because he would be the one that would do my hair or pick out my outfits. He was very instrumental in 2 times of service and me as a person. So losing that was just like losing another one of my team members. Like, we lived right across the street from each other, so it was very hard to come back from that. But at the same time, I had to remind myself, like, you're doing this for them. You're doing this for you. Like, you always told him, oh, we're going to make it to these places. We're going to do this. And you still got to bring them there. So, like, honestly, I just push myself forward because at the end of the day, it's like, people really don't give a shit. They don't care. Like, they only care about what they're going through at their moment. So it's like, once their deposit is already in or they have work construed with your brand or whatever's going on, you can be as sad as you want to be, but deadlines still have to be met. Things still have to be done. And I think that's what makes me sad within death is that life kind of still goes on. You have to act regular. And I was getting caught up in depression because I'm just like, that's selfish as shit. You're going to this party or you're going to do this and this just happened or this just... And I had to realize, like, you can't feel like that because you still have stuff that you have to do. Their spirit has to live through you. So I just kept myself uplifted by knowing, like, everything you're doing it, they're watching it, they get to see it, keep doing
They're
it.
still with you.
Right.
Do you feel like you got to grieve? Or do you feel like you're still grieving? Like, where are we at in that process?
I'm still grieving. Like, right now, we're doing an interview, so I just feel like, as a publicist, I'm so structured on showing people how to keep it together that I can keep it together. Because if we was having this conversation right now on my couch, I would be like, oh, girl. Yeah. But we're on an interview, like, you know what I'm saying? So I got to keep it together. And I think that is what a lot of people struggle with that are in positions as such as us, because you have to keep the upkeep that nothing is going on. Like, if I let people tell it, a lot of people don't even know I have problems. If, like, they think I have no problem. Yeah, I'm just like, dang, am I not a human being? Like, y'all don't think I go through stuff? But it's because I handle things so well. But I feel like people like me who handle things very well are the ones who go through things the hardest. So I don't feel like I have time to grieve when it comes to certain situations and stuff. I still grieve, you know, now with things that are going on, but it's a positive grieving. Like when I'm getting awarded or something that's going on, I'm like grieving because they're not here. But then I'm also thanking God of the fact that it was able to be done because I know it was because of them.
Right.
So I try to alter my negatives into positives to uplift my spirit if I can get it done.
Right. So what advice do you have to that person watching that did just lose their loved one and they're in a professional world? Like, what's some advice you could give them to help them, like, get through, like, at least this part? Because grieving never stops.
It doesn't.
Like,
and that's what I would say. There's no time limit on it. Don't put a time limit on yourself. Go at your own pace. Can't anyone tell you how you should grieve or what your process should be. And honestly, when it comes to grieving, you got to find something that you love, hold on to that, and start doing that even more. With grieving, I feel like just like the Black Mom Syndrome comes, the discipline comes, because you start to realize when you lose those people, things that you need to clean up around you. You start to notice a new thing, like so many different things. Like even with this one friend, he's like, we need to travel more, we need to do this, we need to do that. And I'm taking this year to do that. Like he's from Jamaica. That was the first place I went for my trip. So I do little things, and people don't even understand why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, but it helps my self-care as a person.
Okay.
So the whole time I'm out there drinking, I'm pouring drinks out for him. Like I'm having a good time on him.
Right. So I think that's a good way. You just gotta keep living, but they're always gonna be with you.
Yeah, you're gonna always cry. You might be on a jet ski in the middle of the joint, just drink. You might cry like in the middle. You don't know. It just come out of nowhere.
It could be it's like random.
It's so random.
Like a random song or just literally.
Anything.
At one point, I couldn't even I wouldn't even drive down that way. Like it was my way home, and I couldn't even drive like down that street for the longest without like being sad about it.
Or I couldn't drink a certain bottle of wine for like 2 months because I'm just like, this is his favorite. Like couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
My life gets better, and I think we're both products of that.
Yes.
And you just gotta keep going on.
Don't stop, get it.
Yeah. So you have, when we talk about trials and tribulations, like you said, people don't know the stuff that you go through. Once again, when I was reading your interview, I saw that you said you got diagnosed with a tumor, and you had to get that taken out. So take me back to like when they were telling you about what was going on and just kind of how you got through that.
That was a complicated time in my life because I literally had to write a will. I was supposed to die. It was a lot of stuff going on. And I think that's why I go really hard with the stuff I do, because right when this was happening, that's when I started going hard. I started working for Milano. I started doing 2 times. I started doing all this stuff because it just dawned on me that like life could be going like that. And I was only 18. I just started college. Yeah, so I just started college and everything like that. And I had to actually drop out of school, go back, restart all of my classes, and try to graduate on time with everybody else. I didn't make it to the May graduation, but I made it on time to December. Okay. Which was good, but the tumor derailed me. It put me in a great depression because I was down for like a good 6 months. I couldn't walk. I had to learn how to walk again. I had to do a lot of stuff. And a lot of people don't know that side of me. So when they see me in my business element and I'm serious, they're like, no, I'm serious about what's going on around here and around me because I don't know when the next time I'm gonna be able to do this. You get what I'm saying? So with that tumor, it really scared me. It grew to the size of like a watermelon. It was so big in my stomach, they thought I was pregnant. And it was freaky. It was so freaky. Never had a child in my life. So my first C-section was to get a tumor out of me. So, yeah, and like I said, I commend mothers. Whoever's getting C-sections out here, I commend y'all, because, girl, I was down bad. Like, couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't laugh. It just hurt for me to even use the bathroom. Like, everything was bad. And I got depressed. I didn't want to go back to school or anything like that. But I just think I'm a product to show people, like, no matter what happens to you, whether it's like addiction, whether it's depression, whether it's medical issues, whatever it is, you can still get up and go do stuff. Because I could have just never went back to school.
Right.
I could have never went back and got my degree. I could have just stayed home and got depressed. They had me on Percocets. So I was just like really sad all the time, and I just didn't want nobody around. It was so bad. It was so bad. But again, God is something amazing, because he did a 360 on me and actually made me want to come back outside, made me want to do stuff. Because it just made me so sad, because I'm looking at everybody be in college and do things, and now I'm back home.
Right.
Now I can't be in school. And then when I do go back to school, I have to start all these classes over again. So it was just like,
I know how that is. And you could have used it as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Any of those
F
things.
it, I'm not going back and do that again. I'm not paying this again. I'm not. But I just was like, let me try. And honestly, that's what really kicked the 2 times narrative, because it's like, yo, you really her. Like you was going a whole school year and you still graduated with everybody else. Like,
right. Like
it's
how?
like, how? And it's like I have this demeanor that sometimes I come off, you know, a little too cultured, or in the words of the people, ghetto. But it's like, I'm really a nerd. Like, it's no way. It's no way in the world I should have been able to do that.
Right.
But the tumor actually, again, like I said, it turned me and made me a better person, because, yeah, that's when my life was in a disarray. I really was just so sad.
But you're
I'm
here
now.
Yeah, I was saying you're here. You kept moving, and I think that's what makes your story so powerful. You know, like you said, people see you as celebrities. They see you out here at the events, but they have no idea that you had to deal with that.
Right.
You know, especially at such a young age. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
We can talk about that for so much longer, but let's talk about purpose, right? Because it's on purpose conversation. So, what is purpose to you? And do you feel like you're walking in your purpose?
Honestly, it's hard to give a definition on purpose, because purpose could be anything. So I'm just gonna leave that unanswered. I'll let y'all decide what y'all own opinion on purpose is, because everybody's opinion is different. But as far as walking in my purpose and what my purpose is, I think my purpose, what I'm here for, is to help guide other people to their purposes. So that's my definition of purpose. And I've been walking in my purpose, honestly, I feel like since I was born.
Hey.
Like, honestly. And it's just gotten even more ignited as I got older, because like I just said, my purpose is to lead people to finding themselves and finding what they love, and I've been able to do that for over 500 people, almost 200 companies. So it's just like, when I go home at the end of the day, it's like I'm just this regular old girl, and I'm just like, damn, you really did that. Look.
But when was the moment? When was the moment where you were like, I'm really that girl? Like, I really worked 2 times as hard as everybody else.
I had a lot of moments like that. No, for real, because when you come from a life like how I come from, like, everything to me is a return on investment. It's no way I should have been sitting next to Whoopi Gold. Like, to those, like, things like that are purposes to me. Right. Like, I have videos on Instagram where I'm legit arguing with Joe Budden, and he's saying my name. Like, how the hell does he know my name? So to me, that's purpose right there. Just the small wins is everything to me. Like, that's everything. So I really don't know how to answer that. I really don't. I just feel like
every day you will send them in. Every time you deal with a client, something
is going to be a return on investment. And if when you do something and you go do a project, if you don't get your return on investment, you're not doing it right. So that's just how I look at it.
Right.
That's the purpose.
That's the purpose. Like, maybe it's not for you. I don't know.
Maybe it's not. Your purpose is to make sure you're happy with what you're doing and you're getting a return on investment for doing it. Whatever you put in life, you should be getting back.
Right. I definitely feel that. I always tell people when they're like, well, how do I know? Or, how do I know I'm in the right direction? I personally always tell people, it's like, what would you do for free? Like, what are you, drawn towards? And then what actual skills do you have?
Yeah.
Try to combine them.
It's that word free that scares people. They don't like, free? She want me to do free, a large? Like, it's like, no. But when I first started, like, I was just telling somebody, when I first started, I was doing consultations for free at the Starbucks. Mm-hmm. It was $150 to talk to me. Right. You got to start somewhere. You got to crawl before you walk. So now it's like, I will never go back to Starbucks and be charging $0. This is where we at.
Right. But the fact that you did it, you know what I'm saying?
Because I had to show people something. Like, you can't expect people to come to you if they don't know what they're coming to. Right. So you got to give them something for free. Just like at the market. They want you to buy this cheese. They're going to put it on a toothpick and let you taste it first. Like, girl, it's that cheese. So, yeah.
Good analogy. All right, so you talked about your purpose and how you feel like your purpose is to help other people find their purposes. Mm-hmm. So I heard bringing people together. So talk about your Chat and Chill series and kind of like the idea behind it, and just what can people expect by attending one of those type of events?
Okay, so the Chat and Chew, I'm Chat and Cheer. The Chat and Chew series is an event series that I came up with for like-minded creatives and entrepreneurs to all come together and basically share their networks with each other. Because there's a lot of people in the city that we could be working with that we don't even know. So you never know, you might be a fashion designer and I have a seamstress in there, and that whole time y'all could have connected. So we've done 8 successful events. We're in the planning of our 9th, and I can just say they've been very successful. I see a lot of people that attend them actually working together, collabing on partnerships and things of that sort. And I normally have about 4 to 5 people come out to speak, and I highlight them as our guest speakers. We normally do it at like a penthouse or an event venue. We'll have Swedish massages given for our guests. Yeah, they get gift bags. The last one we did painting with a twist, so we had a painting instructor come out and do that with them. So we always have different interactive, how can I say, activities going on for people to be forced to interact. And then I normally do them at home, so that way it's intimate and people feel the need to want to interact.
Right.
So we do it like that, and we have been sponsored from Rap Snacks for the last 8. So we always get the new exclusive Rap Snacks to give away to our guests. So that's pretty cool. And honestly, we just started that because one day I had an idea about doing it, and my assistant at the time was like, just put it on Instagram. I'll put it on Instagram, and then once people start buying tickets, it was like, damn, you gotta do this now.
This is really happening.
Like, yeah, you gotta do this now. And that was the first one. So now when I look back, I literally have 8 recap videos of amazing events, and it's just like, wow, this thing is really growing. Like, I have people now reaching out to me to speak at the events, be a part of the events. So our Chat and Chew series is just a safe space for creatives to come and create. That's it.
Okay. Yes. So talk to me about an event that you were either a part of or your own event that impacted you in like a unique way. Because I don't want to ask you like who was the best celebrity to meet or what was your favorite event, but an event that you were at that you might not have expected it, but you walked away feeling like.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been in a lot of conferences where I felt like that. Conferences for me are like church testimonies. I feel like I should be walking to the front of the panel when people are talking. But I will say one of the greatest ones that I can think of right now would be the panel conversation I went to in A3C. I don't remember the exact title of it, but Master P was actually one of the speakers. And just hearing his story, how he became independent, made nothing from something, was amazing. And honestly, that was a big impact for me and a big thing for me to walk away from, because that's how I got the Rap Snacks sponsorship. So Master P, a lot of people don't know, is actually partnered with Rap Snacks, who's owned by James Lindsay. And I actually just had a conversation with them. They had another member on their team there as well, and I spoke to them about the Chat and Chew series, what I do, how he enlightened me, how I want to, take these different stories and things to people in Philadelphia. And from there, I've been connected with Rap Snacks, and I just think that was a great, not only return on investment, but a great, how can I say, experience for me to see that not all people are gatekeepers. Because here in my city, sometimes it's like, I can't even get people to help me with something that's like, why I gotta beg you? Why am I sitting here talking to people who own so much and are doing so much and they're willing to assist me? It's not like, oh, she's going to expand beyond me. She's going to do this. It's like, no, young sister, I see you doing this. Let us see how we can help. So I feel like that was a big eye-opener to me, and it made me a better entrepreneur and made me want to do more for other people. So that's why we're in the planning now of the Chat and Chew 9, because a lot of people's been asking about it, and I just feel like a walk-away system from that was Master P helping me. I got to continue helping people. Because it's like, what the hell? I could be Master P soon. Who knows? Yes. No, literally right. It's not always what you know, it's who you know. So having those good relationships, staying connected to people, and sometimes doing that favor for free. That can go a long way in this business. So, yes. Oh my God. It's so much more we can talk about, but I want to close, or how I like to close is, when you leave this earth, because we all will one day, right? It's inevitable. What do you want to be remembered by? When I leave this earth, I just want to be remembered by the fact that it matter that I tried my best. The fact that it matter that I did put 2 times to work in. And honestly, when I leave this earth, I'm praying, God will it to be so, that people don't even have to remember much about me, because they'll see my companies when they ride down the street. So, yeah, they'll just remember like, damn, she did it.
She did that. And she's still doing that, right?
Yeah, like she's not even here and she's still making bread. Like, I want them to know that.
Yes. So remember, 2 times the service, everywhere. Even if they don't see your face, they're going to see your brand.
Yeah, if you don't see my face, you're going to see one of my places.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm so excited to be a part of that journey, watching you, knowing you. That gets me hyped when I'm like, oh my God, I remember her from 5 Girls in a Mic.
Listen, and that was when we were like 17, 18.
Yo,
we about to go 30.
Yo, knew me when you was in college, like just that whole thing. So I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you
for having me.
From one plug to another.
Yes.
From one plug to another, I am so proud of you, and I just want to keep seeing you win. And thank you for having this conversation with me. Anything else you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
Thank you for having me. I'm very much so proud of you and everything you're doing.
Thank you.
I like to end all my interviews just by telling people no matter what's going on, don't stop, get it. And that's all I got.